The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports.
And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Trying the left side with Gibbs. And he's across the 45. It'll be second down. You look at this Colt defense. They enter this one down in the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Here's Lance. Got his man. It's Williams. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. So just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Gibbs will try and pick it up. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Didn't get it by much, but bottom line got the first down. Avoiding that 3 and out, how vital is that on the first drive?
To me, it's like the first round of a boxing match. You know, it may not mean much right then and there, but you'd rather not lose it, right? So you want to go ahead and get it, kind of establish something early, and hope it can carry through. That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
On play action, Lance. That's caught. It's Sam Laporta. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Gibbs. And he gets it all the way down in 5. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. On the end around, here comes Williams. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Jamison Williams, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Lions get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Richardson off the play fake. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
This is an offense that's near the bottom of the league in rushing, so defensively coming in, you've got to know you're going to see the ball in the air a lot. And that time, it's a completion and a first down on this opening drive.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. The Colts in a disappointing 0-4 through the first month of the year. Yeah, they come into this one knowing it's been a while since they've had a W. They have dropped 4 in a row.
Let me tell you, when you go a month, partner, in this league, without a victory, it gets tough to come to work every day. And in addition, you start to wonder about your job security as well.
60 Bison.
Second down, another run with Taylor. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts first down. Good push up front, and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
Ready? Hawk 70. Go.
Richardson looking to throw. And he fires one incomplete. You talk about this Lions defense. They've been very good this year against the pass, currently holding on to a top 10 ranking at number 10.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on third down. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up fourth. Now here's Trenton Gill now. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Now Lance. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
That is caught. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. All right, a great read by the secondary. They come up to stop that touch pass before it can even get back to the line.
Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
From the gun, it's Lance.
Incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now Lance again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Through the middle of the field.
Touchdown, Detroit!
Jamison Williams
with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Lions go up by 2 touchdowns.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He may go.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that is not fooling anyone. He never had a chance to turn the corner there, and they'll go backwards right away.
2nd and 10 here. 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 2
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up. And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. On fourth down, on is Jake Bates for the Lions field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Bates' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
The Colts take over first down and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Second and 10.
Cougar 19. Here we go, sack.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson.
Flushed out right. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. In motion goes the tight end.
Here's Richardson to throw. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Now a second and 10.
70 Rangers, 70 Rangers. Set up.
Richardson.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Panther 11, Panther 11. Huh. Trap 60, trap 60. Ready, ready.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Richardson hit it. He fumbles it.
And this is scooped up by the Lions.
Inside the 10.
And into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is now 24. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
Richardson looking to throw this. This one completes Alec Pierce. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Richardson. He finds his man, complete. It's Ellis. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Third down and 1. Richardson going to change the play here.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1.
Able to find the open man.
The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line.
Well, this hasn't been their cleanest first half of football. Last thing they wanted to do was give it up to the opposition, but able to keep it as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, tough first half, no doubt about it. But if they turn it over there, now things turn a little, how would you say it, dire? And they didn't need that hassle at all. So being able to take care of the football is paramount. Fortunate bounce for them there in order to retain it.
Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
A give right side for Gibbs.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Lance looking to throw it.
Going to throw right side here, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down.
Shotgun now for Lance. Throw left side, caught by Laporta.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
And that'll be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Slot man moves right.
Lance with a tap forward on a jet sweep. Down inside the 10.
And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. A great effort there. His third touchdown now on the year.
And the Lions are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Just a great individual effort there to take that pop pass and scamper off into the end zone.
And that's why offenses love that play, partner, because that gives them a chance to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers with a full head of steam behind them. It's often like a track relay. Legs 2, 3, and 4. That first guy steaming ahead, and he just hands it to you, and you get a chance to take off and go before you even get the baton.
Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away.
Oh, and that is well read defensively. A great job of setting the edge, and that little touch pass is going to turn into a loss.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Colts, nothing.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Second down, another run with Taylor.
And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Go.
Now it's Richardson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half. This carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of we're going to see today, partner.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Second and 10. Another run for Gibbs here. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 42 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
On first and 10, here's Gibbs. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Here's a quick throw out wide by Lance, complete.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
Well, whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin this second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
19 tight. 60 Maverick. 60 Maverick.
Looking to throw. Richardson.
Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. Picked up by Andre Sisco.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Well, I mean, you get it. They're trying to make something happen here in this third quarter, CD, but I don't think a pick six is exactly what they had in mind.
No, not at all, because this offense, they've been stuck all game long. Haven't dented the scoreboard yet, and they're kind of forced to take a few chances here, and that one, it backfired in a big way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, After we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Richardson shotgun on third down.
And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 30.
Line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now 2nd and 9.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line.
15 yards for the Lions there on a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good... defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. They give him 2 yards officially, and now it'll be 3rd and goal. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They'll try to run this one in. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown.
It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Lions are closing their 4th quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Same result. He's going to take this just to the line of scrimmage before running into a brick wall. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So they tried runs on 1st and goal and 2nd and goal, got stonewalled. Now from here, they've got to throw, right?
I would think so, and I would think you also maybe want to come up with something different in terms of formation. Maybe spread things out a little bit. Even though you're down near the goal line where things are tight, get it spread out a little bit and try and find some room to operate.
And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal.
Ready up.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the fourth, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Line of scrimmage back at their own 3 now as they come up 2nd and long. Now a handoff up the middle. Fisher. And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5 on 3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit. Hey, give them credit. That's a good, solid game there on the sneak because it all comes together. Enough space, get forward, gain yardage. Well done.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. He's got his target. That's complete.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20.
Richardson out of the shotgun.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
That's on the tackle, Braden Smith.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Back to throw. Richardson. He finds his man, complete. That's Ellis. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he rifles one incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And now here is another interception.
And the Lions are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. And they will take a knee here. Here comes the Lions punter now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
And you hate to see this for them, but they're looking at yet another loss to begin this season. Things really going from bad to worse as they trail here starting this drive 1st and 10 in the 4th quarter.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
Richardson working from the gun.
And my goodness, another interception.
How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No